Hey everybody, this is Mike Jones from the Connection Games and Comics with my Round 2 match from Friday Night Magic, June the 7th, Return to Ravnica block draft. My Round 2 opponent is Eddie. Eddie is one of the better players in the store. He's a regular at the store. Always good to play against Eddie. He's a great guy. He's good with the tips. He's always helping out, helping me improve my game. So thanks. Big shout out to Eddie. Big props. Thanks. Anyway, so here we get my opening hand, and I'm looking at a 2-lander with a clue stone and a play, so I think I can keep that. Play the red mana first. Always want to play the red mana first with this deck in case you draw the Frostburn weird, and you're going to be able to get them out on turn 2. But I don't. I draw the Blast of Genius, so I'm just going to drop my Truefire Paladin. He dropped a Civic Saber there. One of those ones that I should have taken. And then he gets the Gatekeeper Vine. He's going to look at his hand and try and figure out which land to go fetch. Truefire Paladin's going to have a free swing. I guess he can throw the Gatekeeper Vine in front of it now, but I think he's going to... So he equips the Civic Saber that makes the Gatekeeper a 1-2. Still, debating whether or not he wants to do that. Don't know of any spell that costs 1 black mana that would have made a difference. Anyway, so I get in there with the Truefire Paladin. He thinks about blocking and says, nah, never mind, I'll save it until you're going to pump it, make it bigger. And he takes 2, goes down to 18. And I'm looking at my hand here. I've got a red and 2 white, so I can drop Lava Crew or the Clue Stone. And I'm thinking that, because I have the Cyclops and the Blast of Genius in my hand, so getting that Clue Stone down early is probably a reasonable play, but getting the Lava Crew out when I cast either one of those other 2 spells, I can get an extra point of damage in there, so. And he drops the Blood Witch. Wow, every week I seem to see that card. First week on my side of the table, last 2 weeks on the other side of the table. Anyway, so he gets in with 4 with that. I'm not going to block with my Paladin. So now I've got 4 mana, and I draw my Tajik, so there's an answer for the Blood Witch. At least he can block that indefinitely since he's indestructible, and I'll get back in there with my Paladin. Guess I technically should have waited till after combat. I could have pumped if he had a trick, or given it first strike. At any rate, got my Tajik down, so I'm pretty happy. Here he drops a... He's thinking about it for a while. So he's got a red, green, blue, and black so far, so he's only missing white. Playing a 5-color deck, it turns out. Eddie has a theory, I think, in this format when you're playing with your general Friday Night Magic crowd, that going 5-color is actually a very reasonable strategy because you never know what you're going to get cut. So anyway, he plays a Dreg Mangler. It's the 3/3 haste with Scavenge for 4, and he puts the Civic Saber on it, making it a 5/3. So I've got a 4/4 and a 5/3 coming at me. I'll block the 5/3 with Tajik and take 4. And I go down to 12. End of his turn, I Lava Crew him for 1. He points out that I could have Lava Crew him for 1 more when I played Tajik. Try not to forget that again. So I draw Punish the Enemy. I don't quite have the mana to cast it yet, so I play the Clue Stone. That's going to allow me to play the Guardian of the Gateless or the Cyclops, and if I draw a land, let me play Punish the Enemy. So I'm going to get in there with Truefire again. That'll put him down to 13. He's thinking about his play here. I mistakenly point out to him that I can't actually pump my Truefire Paladin because it's an Izzet Clue Stone, not a Boros Clue Stone I have. So that changes what he's going to do here. He's thinking about it now. He basically has a free attack. I'm not going to throw my Truefire Paladin under the bus to take out one of those guys. I can't take out the Blood Witch because she's got first strike. So that I could stick it under the 5/3 and give my guy first strike, but I don't have enough mana to pump it and give it first strike, so could do that next turn, I guess, if I wanted to be defensive. But I don't really like being defensive in this deck, although I guess I have enough control-y kind of spells in here. It's kind of a mid-range Boros deck. Kind of wish I could see what Eddie had in his hand right now, so I could try and understand the decision he's making. Grace's Incubation goes down on my Truefire Paladin, so can't attack, can't block. I again block the 5/3 and take 4. That puts you down to 8, and I'll hit him for 1 at the end of his turn. That puts him down to 12. Untap. Draw planes. Alright, so now I can cast Blast of Genius and get him for 1 with the Lava Crew. You know, I can pitch the Guardian or the Punish the Enemy if I have to, if I don't draw anything here, to take out that the Blood Witch. So I'm hoping that I draw my Scorchwalker or something, or I guess even the Blood Fray Giant. I don't know, would I toss that over the Guardian? I think I probably would. So Blast of Genius, targeting Blood Witch, draw an island, a Scorchwalker, and an Active Treason. That's pretty nice. So I toss the Scorchwalker, that does 4 damage, enough to deal with the Blood Witch. I'm tapped out, that untaps my Lava Crew. Now my hand's looking pretty juicy. Don't really have an attack here. I want to keep Tajik back to block that 5/3. Anyway, so Eddie's thinking about his options here. It's got me down to 8 life. Board's looking pretty even. So I think that is the Karazda Monitor, 3/3 with Trample and Scavenge. Pass the turn back, I hit him for 1 at the end of his turn, puts him down to 10. And we untap. Draw my card, and Eddie realizes he forgot to move the Civic Saber over. He's going to be mad at himself for that, I think. So here I've got Nivik Cyclops, Gorehouse Chainwalker, Punish the Enemy, and Active Treason in my hand. And I'm kind of thinking if I can get the Cyclops down with enough attackers on the board, Active Treason to change the balance on the board a little bit, change the math, and turn my Cyclops on, might be able to get through enough. Right now the board's kind of looking pretty stally. But I'm just doing it in my head here, going through the math, going I can't quite do Nivik Cyclops plus Guardian of the Gateless. I'm 1 mana short for that. And there's no real point doing Cyclops plus Active Treason this turn, because I can't attack with him this turn anyway. He'll have Summoning Sickness. Same goes for the Gorehouse Chainwalker. So anyway, so I'll hit him for 1, put him down to 9. Cast the Nivik Cyclops, untap my Lava Crew. Then I'll pay red and 1 with the Cluestone, get the Gorehouse Chainwalker down, start building up an offensive here. I'll unleash him. That was probably a bit of a tell and a bit unnecessary, because Tajik's going to be a 7, Cyclops is going to be a 4, that's 11 damage, plus 2, that would have been 13 damage, plus whatever I stole. So assuming he blocks the 7 and the 4, he's going to take 5. maybe 6. Let's see, I've got enough mana though to cast Active Treason. If I draw another land, I can cast Active Treason and punish the enemy, and then the big Cyclops becomes a 7/4. That could swing the game, I guess. Because I can punish the enemy and get one of his blockers out of the way too. Alright, so now he moves the Civic Saber over. That's going to make the monitor a 4/4 with, or a 4/3 with trample, which is enough to kill my lava crew. So here I'm a little nervous. He's swinging in for 4. If he's got his own Scorchwalker, and I only block with Tajik, I'm taking 4 minus 2. So I take 2, and then he Scorchwalker. That would put me down to 1 life, and then I die to a whole number of spells. So I'm going to double block here. Probably unnecessary. You know, if I don't want to die to Massive Raid or something stupid like that. So anyway, so I hit him for 1 before damage is dealt. He's looking at it. He's not going to trample anything through there. Lava Crew is not really important to my plan next turn anyway. I'm thinking I'm probably just going to punish the enemy, the untapped blocker there, and swing with the Cyclops and Tajik if I don't draw a land here. Yeah, and the Gorehouse Chainwalker obviously, and that'll put him pretty low. That would put him at 5. Unless he has another blocker here, which it looks like he does. He does. So he plays the Rakdos Drake, and he wisely leashes it so that it can block. And then he's going to pass the turn back. He's just doing the math, figuring out what can block what. So the Gate Creeper Vine is going to block Tajik. The Moss Dog can block the Cyclops. The Rakdos Drake can block Gorehouse Chainwalker, or some combination of those things. So I'm not getting anything through. Of course, he doesn't know that I have Punish and Active Treason in my hand. So that's going to change the math substantially. Oh, I draw the land. Alright, so now I can do both. That should be game if I'm done my math correct here. Alright, so start off with an Active Treason, and I'll steal the 3/3, and that turns my Cyclops into a 4/4 that can attack. So now I'm going to punish the enemy. I'll take care of the Rakdos Drake. That puts him down to 5. And then I swing. I've got 2 7 attackers, so there's no way he can only block one of them. So we'll go on to game 2. Game 1 goes to me. Close one. I think I got a little bit lucky there, having the right cards. Blast of Genius was very good that game. The drawing the extra cards got me my Active Treason. Got rid of one of his key attackers. So, you know, when I was talking about maybe playing the Is It Charm, wouldn't have done nearly as good in that situation. So I'm warming up to the Blast of Genius a little bit here. I think it was actually quite good there. So anyway, I had a 2-lander with 2 mountains and nothing I could play. So mulligan that. Eddie convinces me that he's kept a dubious hand here. And it is pretty slow, we'll see. But I draw the Hazda Snare Squad. That's pretty nice because they got the 3 mana. I have the Gorehouse Chainwalker in hand again. Or is that a Warmind Infantry? No, what is that? Oh, that's the Active Treason in my hand. Okay, so he's drawn 3. He's played 3 lands in a row and done nothing. So I'll drop the Warmind Infantry here. That's gonna get in for an extra 20 damage, unless he has. Oh, he does. He's got the Karazda Monitor again. So 3/3 is going to beat my 2/3. And I'm drawing a lot of land here. Don't have the extra red mana to cast the Bloodfray Giant yet, so I'll just drop the Snare Squad. I think I have a Lava Crew there too. Snare Squad plus Warmind Infantry could theoretically block the Monitor. He is baiting me, so I will just take it. And rightfully so. If I had put both my blockers there, he would have just made his guy a 6/6. I still would have only been a 1-for-1. The Maka would have traded for one of my 2 creatures, but still. Maybe that would have actually been the right play. Because now I'm facing down 2 3/3s to my clearly inferior dudes. Anyway, draw the Arrestor. Still don't have the extra mana, so I'm going to rest the Rubble Belt Maka. And I'll get in there for 3. Puts him down to 17. And I'll now cast out the Lava Crew, which can theoretically block one of those 3/3s. He plays Verdant Haven on his Forest. Puts him back to 19. I've got Active Treason and Bloodfray Giant in my hand. And he's now going to play the Rakdos Drake, using the Verdant Haven for black mana, and he unleashes it this time, since his board position looks clearly superior to mine. Alright, so I look at this for a second here. I've got the Izzet Cluestone. And I'm like, should I attack with the Arrest just to trigger Battalion? That was probably the right play. I could have tapped down one of his 3/3s with the Snare Squad. Then he could only block, he can trade with my Warmind Infantry, he can just take out my Arrestor, which is whatever. He can't block with the Rakdos Drake, so I'd be getting through for some damage. He either lets 5 through, or he trades for the Warmind Infantry and takes 3. So I actually think that was, but then on the crackback I'm taking 8, so, well, I guess I can use the Lava Crew to block one of them, so I'm taking 5 on the crackback. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was the right play or not. And here comes the Blood Witch again, so he's in with the whole team. In hindsight, now I kind of wish I had attacked into that, because not really excited about blocking the Blood Witch. Anyway, so I'm going to take the Arrestor here and throw it with the Snare Squad in front of the Karazda Monitor, and I'll throw a Lava Crew in front of the Rubble Vault Maka and take 4, 5, 6 damage. Puts me down to 11. He has a trick, so he's Blood Rushes the Scab Clan Charger, which makes his guy a 5/7. 5 is enough to kill both of my dudes. I hit him for 1 at the end of his turn with my Lava Crew. At least now I can get the Bloodfray Giant online. Should have just played him, I think. Anyway, sorry, I have to actually play the Cluestone first. I don't quite have... Oh, I've got a Cluestone on the board already. So I'll play another Cluestone. Now I'll play the Bloodfray Giant. This was, I think Eddie said, it was brave, and I don't think brave is the right word. I think stupid's probably a better word. Should have kept my Bloodfray Giant back as a blocker for at least one of those 2 3/3s that he had. I mean, trades, not exactly good, but anyway, so he's got 4/4 first strike, 3/3, 3/3 with trample, and a 2/3 flyer. And he comes in with the team again. So Lava Crew is going to block one of the 3/3s. Warmind Infantry is going to get out of the bus and block the Blood Witch, and I take 3, 4, 5. Six damage. Why did I take 6? Does she have trample too? I guess she has trample. Anyway, I'm holding on to the active trees in here, hoping to draw a way out of this hole that I've dug myself into. Eddie's doing the math in his head now. He's trying to figure out if he casts the Ruination Worm in his hand and I active trees in it, is there any combination of things that kills him here? Because Blood Prey Giant hits for 5, that puts him to 13. Ruination Worm would be another 7, that puts him to 6. Lava Crew puts him to 5. Do I have enough mana to... Nah, I would need basically 2 active trees and effects here to kill him from here. I get Punish the Enemy though. I'm not sure what the right play is here. I think I lost this game when the minute I unleashed my Blood Prey Giant. Anyway, I'll go through the motions just to see. I will steal his Ruination Worm. Pretty sure this game's over though, because he untaps and cracks back for 4, 10, 12, 16, 17. I can block two of his creatures, and I'm 1 mana short of being able to cast the Punish the Enemy here. Yeah, so I hit in for 13, or 12, sorry. Puts him down to 6, and we move on to game number 3. At least I get to go first this time. Alright, so I take out Hands of Binding and put in a Furious Resistance so I can block that silly Blood Witch, which has showed up every single game. Bad sideboard. I don't know. I don't think that was necessarily... I think I much would have rather had another active treason-like effect. I should have put in the Catch and Release card. Maybe over the Hands of Binding, maybe over something else. He has a lot of really nice creatures, big fatties, so being able to borrow them for a turn is quite good. And with the upside of maybe you get the release to go off too. Anyway, I've got pretty much a glorious hand. Eddie's got another dubious one, so he's thinking about it. I got a Plains and a Mountain plus a Gorklan Chainwalker, a Lava Crew, Frostburn Weird, is it Cluestone? So I need 1 more land, preferably a mountain, to make this deck, or this hand, the nuts. I've also got a Lava Crew back there, so I've got a turn 2 play for sure, and I've got 2 turns to draw another land to get the Cluestone online, at minimum, to be able to get the other cards active. Anyway, draw the Plains, so already I'm good to go with a Cluestone. I'll unleash the Chainwalker. He goes Swamp, go. And then Forest. Passes the turn back. This is what I was hoping my deck would do every night. Or every game, just be really super aggressive. So I get in there for 3. Puts him to 17. Then I'll drop Cluestone here so I can play out the rest of my Blood Prey Giant next turn. And the turn after that, if I get another land, I can do Lava Crew, Frostburn Weird. As long as it's a red source. Hey, look at that, red source. So here I'm going to get in for 3 first. Oh, he played the Verdant Haven there, so let's put him back up to 19. So he's ramping his mana up. I'm going to get in there and put him down to 16. Drop the Blood Prey Giant, keep the pressure on. Giant 5/4 Trampler. He plays a land. Now he's going to play... I think he's going to play the Confessor here. I think he's worried that I've got active treason in my hand, so he doesn't want to drop anything that I can steal and smash him with. Alright, yeah, so he plays the Confessor. I show him that I've just got 3 creatures in my hand. He makes a note of what I've got. So I've got the Frostburn Weird, Lava Crew, and Nivix Cyclops. All pretty sweet. Anyway, so I untap. Not blocking with the Chainwalker anyway, so I'll run him into the I'm going to draw the Daring Skyjack there. That's a pretty sweet draw. That's going to let me put down. So he'll trade the Confessor there and take the 5, puts him down to 11. And I can drop both Skyjack and Frostburn Weird. So I'll draw the Frostburn Weird first, and the Skyjack. So I'm going to be able to turn Battalion on next turn, most likely. Got the 2 Defenders still in my hand, keeping it pretty aggressive. So Eddie's got access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana so far. And he'll drop the Gate Creeper Vine, so he's going to go look for another land. And he's thinking pretty hard on this one, so I don't know what he's got in his hand that he's thinking he might need to cast. Not sure if he makes the right decision here or not. I got a pretty aggressive board though, so he needs to get some defense down in a hurry if he can. Right, so he looks like he gets, is that a Gruul Guildgate or is it Guildgate? I think it's that foil Gruul Guildgate that I saw at the beginning of the draft. Anyway, he says, I'm not done yet, after he plays his land. He shuffles up. And then he's going to Augur Spree, my Bloodfray Giant, using the Verdant Haven for the red mana. Alright, that's fine. That slows me down a little bit. I draw more land. Alright, so let's get in there. Can't give him Battalion anymore, but hey. So he's going to throw the Gate Creeper Vine under the bus. He's just deciding which bus he wants to get under. 3-1 for sure, and then, or he can make me use up some of my mana, so I will. I'll use 3 mana to pump it and hit him for 4. Takes him down to 7. I still have 3 mana to drop the Lava Crew, pass the turn back. I came up pretty fast this game. And he's going to play. Nope, change his mind. The 3/3 Drag Mangler, the 3/3 with haste and scavenge, but he's going to hold it back as a blocker. It's pretty effective blocker. During my upkeep, he says, red, red, and colorless. I will massive raid for 1 damage to take out the Skyjack. He's got some answers. I draw an island. That's not something I really needed. Anyway, so I'll hit him for 1. Put him down to 6. Then I'll drop the Cyclops. Untap my Lava Crew. And get in there, Frostburn Weird. I don't know if this was a good attack or not. I mean, he's just going to block it, and then I'm going to have to pump to kill the Drag Mangler, which gives him a scavenge option later in the game. But whatever. I draw 1 multicolor instant or sorcery here, and I can swing with my 4/4 and ping him twice. So Blast of Genius for the win, if I can get it. I think that's my only multicolor instant or sorcery I have. See, again, catch and release would have been really good right about here. Although I guess I can't catch anything if he doesn't have a creature, but he needs to put something down, I think, to start stabilizing his board. So he plays the Rakdos Drake. Does not unleash it. I hit him for 1, takes him down to 5. And then he's going to Executioner swing. And I don't even look again, same as last week, and I'm just about to go on to my next turn. But Eddie is a really good player and very cool, and points out that he doesn't actually have black and white mana to cast. That he can make one or the other, but not both. So he puts the Executioner swing back in his hand, and my Lava Crew is still alive. And again, props to Eddie for being cool like that. Anyway, so I draw the Active Treason, and that'll do it for the game. That was a pretty sick top deck. Active Treason, his Rakdos Drake, that turns on the Cyclops. I can now swing for 5 and tap for 1 for Lava Crew for 6 if I want. Anyways, great games, Eddie. Always a pleasure playing against you. He had a Zertos Swine in his hand. That would have certainly changed this situation a little bit. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And if you're ever in town, stop by the store and say hi. Thanks for watching. Bye.